Hey everybody, I'm Ryan and welcome to 113 Cycles. Today, we're going to be insulating our roll-up door with insulation from BlueTex Insulation. It's designed for roll-up doors like this, not a regular garage door. Sure, they have that, but you roll it up and roll it down and the insulation will stay on there. I've already done one door, so I've learned a few things. We're going to knock this door out and see how it goes. So check out this and yeah, hope you enjoy it. All right, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to take this foam insulation that comes with the kit, and we're going to line it up here, and we're going to mark kind of where it goes. That's our rib. We've got it marked. I already cleaned it. Oh, yeah, I think we're going to be good. So the next thing we're going to do, now that we've got our distance for our first, and we know we're going to put the bottom, is go ahead and put our tape on there. So we know this is our top. We know the bottom is the bottom. So let's get our double-sided tape that this will adhere to. And then we're going to set a couple more rows. I think I say 12 to 18 inches apart. So we'll measure, do that, and be ready to go. All right, we're doing the 10 by 10 roll-up doors out of the kit, and we've got two of them, so we have the large kit with it. So I still have extra tape from doing the first door and learning the mistakes that I did, which had nothing to do with the tape. So I'm still using the same roll. So it comes with plenty of tape. I've got a whole second roll over there, and I haven't finished this one, so you got plenty of tape to put as many rows on here as you want with it. You just got to make sure you work its way down. So, all right, we're going to take this two-sided tape, we're going to put it across this rib all the way, and we're going to leave the paper on it. All right, we've got our tape on all the way across. Again, make sure you put it on the upper rib, not the lower rib. Make sure it's good and snug now, because once we get going, and we're only doing the bottom row. I learned on the other side to do that. It's a little bit easier. All right, next thing we do is lay our foil out, and we're going to cut it to length. Basically, I guess it's 10 feet, but we'll lay it out on the bottom of the door, cut it, and then we'll start hanging it on the top row first. So foil backing is going to go towards the door. If you want to keep heat in, then you want to put this foil on the inside. So if you live in a real cold climate, I would suggest putting the foil on the inside. I'm putting mine facing outwards because the summer is the biggest problem here. This tape piece is going to go along the bottom, and then we're going to come over here and get started hanging this. And then this is going to go on this piece of tape here, which is our upper piece of tape. So we want it to be straight along here, so it's straight along the bottom. And I'm going to do it a little bit closer to the edge, so kind of sticking with that tape line that we have with it. That's reasonably straight, and as we tape it, we'll make sure it stays that way. All right, we've got our first piece tape started. You don't want to pull it all the way off yet. We're going to do it as we go so we can make sure that this stays straight and level. Apparently my camera didn't record, but I did. I got this all on here. I got a little offline. You can see it dips here. I don't know how much you can see from back there. Dips back here and goes lower and lower. But we are still secured on here, so I'm not too worried about it. I did get a little bit of a bubble here, but I'm hoping that as we go down, it'll come out. So the measurements that I did weren't bad, but it overhung just a little bit. So I'm going to take this razor knife and cut this overhang off. There we go. Now we got extra strip. All right, this is what we got to do. We got to lift this up out of the way. And then we start taking the next row of tape. We do the same thing we did on the other one, which hopefully we'll record this time. All right, as you can see, I have foil on my head. We have the tape all around here off. So the next thing we need to do, and this is probably the hardest part of the whole thing, and it's not really that difficult. I just rolled it up before, and it worked fine. But what you got to do is you got to pull down on this to get all of your stuff out of the way. See? And then we're up on the top. And then I got to pull that back to do the exact same thing here. So I found doing it partial like this turned out to be the best for me. Is that the best for you? I don't know. Try it. But it works for me. So that's our lock. We will cut this out in between here, so that's not a worry. We do get a little bit of this bubble out here, but that shouldn't be a problem because we haven't pulled the tape on anything but this. So There we go, there we go. So that is all stuck there. Now we just gotta try and get that out as we go. Now, we start pulling the tape and pressing this down. And keep going as we go while we're pulling. See, I'm even moving the door, I'm pulling enough. And you're trying to get these gaps out of here. The only reason this is the hardest part is because there's so much material here. So this one and the next one will be full pieces of material. And if you start in the middle, it's not as bad. Yeah, see, I did that, and I don't want that. So that's the kind of stuff we're trying to eliminate here. What we're looking at is trying to get this out, which is what we should be doing right here, and I'm not doing a good job of it. That's all I'm saying. A second person absolutely would make this easier, because you could have somebody pull down while you were pulling the tape on it. All right, now we're on to our next row, which is not the bottom. We've got this one here. Again, this one should be a little easier because we have less, so we can pull it as tight as we can, like this, get that tape off, and just run it. And that should take out a lot of the slack between here and there. That one went a lot better. A little bit of gap there, but it's really from up above. Is it perfect? Nope. But it'll work. All right, I made it harder on myself than it needed to be. I didn't need the strip at the bottom. We have the overlap tape there. So, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have two of these to pull off at the same time. You know, this door will stay all day long, no problem. I start doing this, and all of a sudden it's like, no, I don't wanna do it. That's literally the voice of the door, if you didn't know. I won't say that's perfect by any means still, but that ain't horrible. All right, so I took the strip that I cut off earlier just to make it easier. Normally I would just take the foil roll and put it over here, but that worked a whole lot better. So I know that this is our top beam up here. I'll mark that. Then we're gonna take a tape measure and measure off our other spots. That's how far two rolls go. That's like a door and a half almost of one roll of tape. So I'm gonna go grab the second roll of tape they gave me, and we'll keep doing it. So on this one, I did mess up. Well, I didn't mess up, I just didn't tell you guys about it. So you've got the tape end at the bottom down there, you can kind of see. That needs to be at the bottom. You need about a 2-inch gap on the bottom of this to that. So there should be an overlap of about 2 inches. I already measured that and put the tape up and everything with it. So, I think I may have mentioned it earlier, but now we are ready. And this is just hanging on this piece of tape. That's it. Simple. The first piece of tape we did, that's going to get us to there. So now, move the ladder down and do the next piece. So we're probably going to have a bubble in this one as well. This is where your second person would be a huge help. You can see this bubble we got here, but that's just because I got off and on. Where it dipped down, it dipped down. So, it means we've got more work to do on the next side. They tell you to start in the middle and work your way out. I have been working side to side because it's just been better for me. However, with this big dip here, I don't like it, so we are going to try and go right in the center and push that out that way. Is it possible? I don't know. Let's find out. All right, we've got our tape up for the next 2 rows, and I've also measured this. You gotta remember you need a 2-inch gap from the top of this down for the overlap on there. So mine ends up being 26 5 inches, I think is what it was, 25, 26 inches, I'll check it again. So I need to cut that lengthwise. What I do is just laid it down on the ground, took a straight board, cut it straight across, made some marks across, and just cut it straight across. And little variance is not a big deal because it'll be covered by the tape. And yeah, so I've got it laid out down on the floor. I'm gonna measure that, cut it, on to the next one. All right, last piece. Got 3 strips of tape, the top, middle, and then the bottom, which will be on here, which remember to put that at the bottom. We measured, we cut. We're gonna try and line this up and go under here. And I can't really start from the middle on this. So we're gonna start where we can. Got it all out. Boom. All right, next step, let's tape it up. Next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and tape the seams. So everything looks good there. We've got our tape. It is very easy to work with as soon as I find the edge. We're going to the very top seam of the door, and we're going to go all the way across on it. All right, I bet you can guess what we're gonna do next. We're gonna do the bottom. That is basically job complete. It's really not that difficult. I make it look a lot harder than it was. It's just tape. I mean, put the foil up there, cut it to size. You could measure and cut what you wanted even before you got started. It would make this installation even easier. So yeah, it's pretty simple. So the question you're really here for, does this stuff work? Well, I can tell you it's 37 degrees outside right now. There's no sun. This door from the outside is around, there's 39 degrees right in the middle. 42-ish at the bottom, 41 and a half at the bottom, and the very top up here, 42, 39, 41, that one's jumping around. So highest I got was 43 off that, give or take. This door was done 2 days ago, day and a half ago. I kind of did them at the same time, kind of a deal, but this one first. So this one is at 53 degrees, right around the middle. So 53, there's 55, and we get up to 57 degrees. This wall next to it here is also 57 degrees. I have 2-inch foam insulation, spray foam insulation in there, and that wall right there is 57 degrees, and that insulation right there is 53 degrees, 52 and a half, 53. There's 55. So depending on where we aim it, you know, it's pretty good. The lowest down there at the very bottom is 47. And I can tell you a couple things that are great about it. Let's go to the other door. All right, a couple things that I really like about this door, the insulation from BlueTex. So it is quiet. When I roll up and down the door, which you do here in a second, it's really nice. With the other insulation that I had attached with magnets, you have to take it down to open and close the door. Great. This is a white. I had gray before. The white looks better with it. Also, keep in mind, we put the foil on the outside, so it is facing outward because in the summertime, we want to try and keep the heat out. So in the summer, we'll come back and check this again and see how it's doing compared to what we're doing now. So here's the door going up, and this has actually got a little bit more movement on this door, if you can hear that. just because my brush seals on the outside are pushed, are not as tight on this one, so there's a little bit of wobble with this one. But we roll this up, it is so much quieter than it was before. I can tell you that this is a much cleaner look than we had before with the Poly Pro in there with you gaps and that kind of stuff with it. This is so much cleaner. I know on camera, this looks like it's got some big ripples and stuff in it, and there's one here, but I can't really see it that well. I actually have to go to the camera to find some, or you can kind of feel it like over here, but even with the light in my shop, I can't see it as well. So it looks way worse on camera, and you can stop that by just doing it a little bit better. So we could have had an extra piece of tape here, or I should have pulled down, starting from the center out would actually help that, and it looks really good. So like I said, there's a couple spots. I know that one right there I can see a little bit on, but that's most what I can see looking at it. Overall, it was not difficult. It's pretty easy. I can definitely feel the difference in temperature from that to what the metal door would feel like. So we've got the latch right here, and there's some air coming in. The way it was before, this is, it's a roll-up door. It doesn't seal. So putting the tape on the edge like I did made a big difference on that. It is sucking some of the air inward. You can feel very little air blowing. It has got some wind going outside too. Highly recommend this upgrade. We'll see how it stands up over time, but we'll check back with it. Like I said, temperature has been really good. So yeah, I'm pretty excited and happy to have this. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. Really helps us out. And get yourself some roll-up door insulation. This stuff's pretty cool.